All right, thanks for everyone's patience. John Boyle, you want to start us off?
Would love to. Yeah, just first off, congratulations. We saw the tweet. It looked like a text message saying you wanted to be in Seattle, felt comfortable here. Just what made you think Seattle would end up being a good fit for you?
I had a lot of great interviews with pretty much all the staff, So just going through it, they made me feel more comfortable when it comes to being taken care of when I come to Seattle. So I know I could just come there and be able to get better. Wouldn't have to worry about too much of the nonsense. I felt that energy directly. So, it's just great to be able to go into something that's already written, because me saying that, I put that energy in the world and obviously it's already been written now that I'm a Seahawk now. So, I'm definitely grateful for it.
Thank you.
Corbin Smith.
Hey, DWayne, I grew up about 10 minutes north of Fort Wayne, so it's crazy to me that the Seahawks just drafted a player from tiny Bluffton High School, only a couple of recruiting offers to go to Ball State in Western Michigan. What does it mean to you to come from such a tiny high school, not having a lot of offers, now being a second-round pick, you get to play with Russell Wilson?
Yeah, it's crazy. I wouldn't want it any other way. The things that I had to face and not be able to run from, it's definitely a blessing that I made it through all the obstacles that I did. So I'm just thanking the man above for all these provided me with, and it's just a beginning now. So I'm gonna keep it going for all the guys and girls to be inspired from little old Bluffton, Indiana, and all the towns in Fort Wayne, to be able to do what they want to do. Because all it takes is a little hard work and dedication and sacrifice.
Masvita.
Yeah. Hey, DWayne, on the point about overcoming and sacrificing, can you talk about 2019, the disappointment you had there, and then the hard work and dedication for you to have a banner year in 2020?
Yeah, so my injury in 2019, it was probably the best and the worst thing that happened to me in football. I learned much more about myself. I learned that I was much more than a football player when it comes to what I want to do later in life. That helped me bring more love to the game. I just go out there and have fun, do what I do best, and keep it at that, keep the main thing. So, my injury, it helped me so much more than anything that I could have asked for, because no one asked for an injury, but, the things that came from that injury, it's priceless to me.
Do you mind going into a couple of people that supported you in that process? I know rehab's a personal, but is there some inspiration you got from people around? Anybody want to mention?
Yeah, definitely. Sarah McBrien, she was the head trainer at Western Michigan. She always just kept me up always. She I was down because, all I wanted to do was play football. It's pretty easy to tell how much I love the game of football. So she always kept me up. Then my girlfriend, she was also a critical factor, just being able to talk to her, and her pick me up when I was down for sure during that injury, and my core family being my mom, my uncle, my aunt, my grandmother, my siblings, some of my cousins, they stayed supporting through the whole process. There was never any favoring at all, so, I'm definitely blessed for the people that are in my life, they keep me up.
Thank you.
Jim Mueller.
Hey there, since you've got familiarity a little bit with the Seahawks, do you know enough about the offense to have any early thoughts about how you might fit in and help the team?
Yeah, so I know about Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, and then DK, so I just come in and bring some more explosiveness to it. Those are all dogs that I mentioned. I'm also a dog, so I feel like I'll be able to fit in pretty good, and just take it to another level, do what I'm paid to do now.
Curtis.
Yeah, DWayne, congrats on getting taken. I was just kind of curious, what kind of led to your offensive explosion last year? The 700-plus yards, the 8 touchdowns in just the 6 games you had. What allowed you to take that dynamite leap when all was said and done?
Yeah, I did the whole season. I made a lot of sacrifices. I knew exactly what I needed to do when it came to my routines of taking care of my body, watching film, everything. I always checked every single box this year. And, I just did everything that I needed to do. And then when it came to the field, it wasn't anything new. I practiced some of the plays that I had that were touchdowns this year that everybody thought was explosive and all that. I was doing that exact thing in practice. So it just translated right to the game. I kept it going the entire season.
Michael Sean.
Hey, DWayne, congrats. If I'm reading this correctly, you know someone whose cousin is on the team already?
Yes, sir, coach. Lito, he's with my financial rise team. His cousin is the position coach, I believe. So, I had some great conversations with them. It bonded well. And then, we're just gonna keep. I'm super excited about it, taking it out there.
Which coach? Which position coach?
The receivers.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Bob?
Yeah, Dwayne, how the kickoff returning? It looked like you didn't start doing that until last year, but you had a lot of success doing it. Is that something that the Seahawks talked to you about?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm going. Even if they didn't talk to me about a phase of special teams, I'm going in there making a name for myself, regardless.
Can you what led you to suddenly doing kickoff returns last year? Looks like you didn't do them before last year.
Yeah, it was just other players. It was other greats that were there during my time, like Darius Phillips that plays for the Bengals. He was a great returner. And then my senior year, I was playing both ways, so they kind of wanted to take some of the stress off of me. So they had Levante Bellamy. He's with the Broncos. So we had some greats back there. So they was just trying to preserve me a little bit more so that I could stay healthy during the season and not do too much because I was doing special teams as well, other special teams.
Greg Bell?
Hello, sir. Congratulations. Are you talking from Bluffton right now?
No, sir. I'm in Battle Creek, Michigan.
Okay, thank you. College home. How much did you play in the slot at Western?
It was probably I played about 85% into the boundary this year, but the rest of that 15% I probably moved around from the slot to the field slot. I was pretty interchangeable this year.
You said 85% into the boundary or in the slot? I'm sorry.
Into the boundary. I was the
Okay.
extra. Yep.
Okay. And have the Seahawks, when they briefly talk either tonight or before, mentioned what role they might like you specifically? They got a new offense going in.
Yeah, so I just pretty much learned all three positions. That's how I learned concepts anyway, to be able to move faster within the offense. So we didn't really talk specifically about a position. We just talked about would I be able to retain everything to be able to play all three positions.
And then you moved at how old were you when you moved from Mississippi to Indiana?
I was young. I was in kindergarten. I did an extra year of kindergarten. So somewhere around the lines of whatever age that is.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Brady?
Hey, Dwayne, Brady Henderson from ESPN. Congratulations and nice talking with you. Excuse me. Can you tell us what was it like playing both ways for as many years as you did, and what led to starting to play wide receiver?
Yeah, it was a great experience. I know it was a select few that played that position in all of college football, all time. It wasn't too many greats that just did it, so I was walking in trying to make a name for myself on the wide receiver side and the DB side, so it worked out well for me. I put in a lot of hard work to be able to get results. And then my true senior year, I came back, I had a conversation with our head man, and it was only right for me to go back to wide receiver, the way that I had progressed and learned so much from corner.
Thanks.
Joe Fan?
Hey, congratulations. Just curious if maybe you can kind of paint the picture of what you're doing today, what your expectation was for when you might go, when you got the call. Just, I know it's a cool moment for you in your life. And I'm just maybe curious if you were anticipating, hey, Seahawks are coming at 56, this might be my time. What are those emotions and how did it all go down for you?
Yeah, definitely. As soon as I saw 56, when I saw the Seahawks, as soon as I saw the Seahawks, I instantly knew. It was some type of energy that came over me, and then once I saw the Washington number call me, I instantly stood up. I was so joyful, and now it's time to get to work.
Art?
D'Wayne, what did you learn playing cornerback that's helped inform you about playing wide receiver?
Could you say that one more time for me?
What did you learn at playing cornerback that helps inform you as a wide receiver?
It just really slowed the game overall for me. Whenever I'm going against a DB, I always think to myself, what could make me uncomfortable if I was going against a corner, if I was going against a receiver of my stature. I always put myself in that example. And then, just thinking of different things that would make me uncomfortable if I was playing corner. That helped me a lot going to the offensive side again in 2020.
Nico?
Thank you. Hey, Dwayne, was wondering, when you look at the wide receiver group and you see a guy like DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, is that, added pressure to see how impactful they were into the team, or does it feel good to just have a couple of guys perhaps that you could follow and kind of grow with?
Yeah, so I'm definitely not coming in with any type of pressure on myself. It's amazing that I made it to this point. I think I remember until like second grade of me dreaming about going to the NFL and just my perspective changing over the years. So me just being able to get my jersey is what it's all about, because I take opportunities, very heavily. I don't never unused the opportunity, to my benefit, so I'm going in to be able to learn from them and then add on to, the leadership that they have in that room, and just take it to another level.
Tim Booth.
Hi, Dwayne. Congratulations. How important do you think in this entire process was the performance you had the week of practices at the Senior Bowl? And when you got there, did you feel like there was anything you had to show to prove that even though you went to a smaller conference school that you were worthy of being considered this high?
Yeah, so throughout this process, I didn't really put too much pressure on myself. I just kind of did what I do best. I always knew that I was one of the top tier guys. It was just certain times where I didn't get as many opportunities as the guys at the bigger schools and stuff like that. So I just, I face things head on. I don't run from anything. So as soon as anybody lines up against me, I'm automatically thinking I can win. I'm not thinking about anything else. And I just went down there to show who the real Eskridge was, since I didn't always have a camera on me.
Jackie.
Hey, Dwayne, congratulations and welcome to Seattle. How would you describe your playing style?
I would say definitely aggressive, explosive, and dynamic. I can do multiple things on the offense and defensive side, and I can also go and perform well on the special teams. So I just bring a whole nother juice.
And then what do you know about the city of Seattle and the 12s here?
I know nothing. I cannot wait to learn about it. I cannot wait to learn more about it.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Ian Furness.
Dwayne, sorry, we got a little late coming in on this, but you may have answered it. Can you describe what was about Seattle that made it special? You tweeted out that you wanted to come here. What was that whole process like? And was it talking to John, Pete, et cetera? And why the tweet to your friend? What made Seattle the place you wanted to be?
Yeah, so I just felt comfortable being in a good football position with them, more than anybody else that I talked to. They all kept it real with me. It was clear, uncut all the time. I just felt when it came to energies colliding, I felt like I was molded well instead of going the other way, so I always looked at them as a little bit different than anybody else, and I appreciated them for that.
Art.
From what you know about DK Metcalf, who wins the 40-yard dash between the two of you?
He like a semi, he moving a whole lot of velocity, so I'm definitely gonna win that race. I'm not gonna say he's gonna beat me in the race, but we gonna take it there wherever it goes.
Thanks.
All right, thanks everyone. Appreciate it. Dwayne, thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dwayne, one more. You mentioned what a vital role your girlfriend was. You want to name her for us and spell the name so we can publicize her?
Yeah, Arlexis Branson, Arlexis, and then Branson, Branson.
Congrats to her as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Yep.
Thank you.